Hi there, it's Kevin with Gathering Magic here with another matchup of playing on a budget mono green. This is a keepable hand, barely keepable. I don't like the amount of lands here, but we do have a first turn play and 2 3-drops. We are on the draw, but we are going up a matchup that I did want to see, and I hope that it's as decent as I think it's going to be. So we have a 2-drop now as well, with the Burning-Tree Emissary. But we have nothing to cast the mana with, so Brushstrider would probably be the best thing to draw into. Pack Rat is going to get a little bit scary, but hopefully we can just out-aggro it, as he does have to use his mana each turn to actually pump tokens. And he might just, you never know, he might just throw a Pack Rat under the bus here to the Dryad Militant. Witchstalkers will be okay, but as soon as the Desecration Demon comes out, I'm going to have a hard time with that. And I don't think that he's in any sort of life predicament here. It'd be interesting. I would probably just chuck the Pack Rat under the Militant. He's probably not going to want to be populating Pack Rats, as there are better things to do, like Desecration Demons. So, unfortunately, nothing there with the burning tree. But we do have 4 power on board. I'm hoping a Nightveil Spectre comes down. Okay, well, Nightveil Spectre comes down. Nothing I can do there. And again, the only saving grace is going to be an Enlarge for us. And I'm thinking we just might get out-tempoed, out-card advantaged here, especially with the Desecration Demon, and this Nightveil Spectre giving him subsequent card advantage. I mean, I would hate to see him need a mana, attack with the Nightveil Spectre, and actually get a mana. I mean, that would be the worst-case scenario. And then be able to play a Desecration Demon. But it's starting to really think that these deck needs all 4 enlarges and maybe some other combat tricks, because it seems like most of the games I've been winning is by hitting an enlarge. So it's something to definitely be aware of or take into consideration. I did have kind of a weaker draw here, as it didn't have anything that evolves. It didn't have anything that didn't have a second turn that was too impressive. And he doesn't decide to attack in. That's interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and attack with the Witchstalker. If he wants to trade an Nightveil Spectre, of course, he's more than welcome to do so. So Senior Witchstalker number 2 is going to come out. And this is going to allow us to actually Boon Satyr, flash in a Boon Satyr on a dude. Well, not anymore. He's going to Thoughtseize away my Boon Satyr. And probably still be able to cast, yep, a Desecration Demon. So it's only Enlarge. Enlarge is the only thing that I can draw into that is going to be able to save me. So at this point, he probably is going to start wanting to attack into the Nightveil Spectres. Just one of them is going to come in. And what's going to find him? A Boon Satyr. Okay. That was unfortunate. Again, I don't believe we can actually tap down. Yeah, we can. We can tap down his Desecration Demon and attacking with the... So... we will attack in with the Witchstalkers. He's going to take it. Okay. I do have to worry about a Grey Merchant. But we have another Witchstalker and another Militant. So he isn't out of this yet, even with the impressive board that he has, unless this is a Gary here. And it looks like it is a Gary. Okay, now he's definitely in prime position here. So I don't even think an Enlarge gets me out of this. Reverent Hunter and Experiment 1. Well, he found the non-Enlarge. Let's see if we can top deck an Enlarge for the not even a win, because we still can't. He can block. Yeah, you'd have to block 1, which you would block on, I think it absorb 6. He'd be able to absorb 3, and he'd only take... Yeah, there's nothing I can do here. And we don't draw it anyway. So, probably a pretty bad matchup. The number 1 and 2 deck aren't looking very good for this mono green. Again, this was just a budget. This was my attempt at a very, 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 very low budget deck. And it definitely has some kinks here against these tier 1 decks, these devotion decks. As devotion, if you don't interact with devotion through taking their devotion away, which is obviously what this deck, it cannot really interact, then you're just setting yourself up to really getting blown out by either a big Master of Waves, a big Gray Merchant, a big anything with an Ike Shrine of Nyx. So that's why I highly, 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 if you're going to go to a competitive event, I highly recommend running cards like Abrupt Decay is such an MVP in the format right now. Gets rid of Boros Reckoners, gets rid of Nightveil Specters, it gets rid of Underworld Connections, it gets rid of Detention Spheres, it gets rid of basically anything in the mono blue, it gets rid of the Frostburn Weirds, and even cards like Putrefy are good. I mean, I really am starting to become a fan of the Kibler Jund deck, or even the Kibler Black-Green deck, because of the ability they have to break up synergies. So there basically are this deck, but I mean, like I said, I'll have to show a deck in the wrap-up of either going for red. You can either go on all-out strategy with red, or probably the right move to do would be to splash in black and go for a Abrupt Decay, and then you have the Dreg Mangler, which is very, very good, and also cards like Putrefy that just help you with the tempo. And then you'll still be dropping your first turn Experiment 1, or Rakdos Cackler / Dryad Militant / Tormented Hero, and still be able to evolve that Experiment 1. And still, even if you want to even run cards like the Gyre Sage and whatnot, and then still have the way to disrupt them. So I mean, that the games like the big Boros game and this game would be a lot easier to win. So anyway, I'll get back to this game at hand. I'm bringing in the Rubblebelt Raiders because I do believe that they are powerful. Maybe not. I don't think there's much I would change here. I'm going to take out a Reverent Hunter, and I'm going to put in a 1 of Rubblebelt just to kind of mix things up. Yes, I'd like to play first. There's the Enlarge. I'm keeping the hand with Enlarge in it, definitely. And we have a first turn into a second turn into a third turn, which is strongish, but again, against Mono Black with so much removal, Doom Blades, Heroes Downfalls, Devour Fleshes, this is probably a pretty terrible matchup. So, yeah. But it's a good place to start. Like I said, this is if you're getting into Magic and you're actually looking for a very cheap deck, it can beat decks. It can really have those aggressive draws. And then you're able to build onto this by either, like I said, then investing into red or investing into black and getting those cards like Magma Jet, Lightning Strike, or Abrupt Decay, Putrefy to help this be a deck that can then disrupt your opponent's devotion strategies. And half the meta right now is all about just disrupting devotion. If you can keep a Shrine down, if you can keep a Grey Merchant of Asphodel from really doing much, you're in great shape. So, gets off to a slow start. No first turn Thoughtseize for the Enlarge. We will have the Brushstrider, which is a decent card. Of course, the best card I could probably draw into would be a Burning-Tree Emissary. Then I go Burning-Tree Emissary Brushstrider. And that's a pretty powerful too. But second turn Brushstrider is not horrible. And to a third turn, Reverent Hunter isn't horrible either. So at this point, we can outrace the Nightvale Specters. Another Dryad Militant is not what I wanted to see, but we can go Brushstrider. And we can get in here for the 2 damage. And one good thing about this mono green, though, is it does capitalize on any sort of hang-ups. If your opponents have any sort of awkward hand, you can definitely punish them. All right, so that is a bit unfortunate that he kills off of that guy. But now we have the Experiment 1, which we can evolve with the Dryad Militant. And get in there for 2 again, but he basically negated that with the cure. A Nightvale Specter is very good. Experiment 1 does not evolve from Reverent Hunter. Reverent Hunter actually will only be a 5/5. I want to draw into a land, but the good news is I can draw into anything here. So there is the land. I am going to Reverent Hunter right now. See if he has a Doomblade. It's got a Hero's Downfall. And so this will still be a 4/4 though. And we're still able to get in there for 4. But again, a Desecration Demon is a bit of a problem. Other than if we do draw into an Enlarge, it doubles his removal plus damage. And there it is. So land. Kalonian Tusker's not a card I'm looking forward to. I mean, I think the right play is to tap it down and do 6 damage. And maybe I should have actually tapped it down with a Tusker. So he's down to an 8. So Gray Merchant is really his only saving grace here, but it is a real saving grace. It will gain him 4 life. Okay, so you can't get it this turn. So he's still staring down lethal. If I draw into another creature and he isn't able to go a Desecration Demon for whatever reason, or if I get another land. But I've got to believe that he's got to play in his hand. A Thoughtseize isn't the greatest thing because it takes 2 life and then allows me to then just swing in or tap down his Desecration Demon and swing in. But a Nightvale Specter Thoughtseize, can't do Nightvale Specter Thoughtseize. So not a lot of options with that Temple of Deceit. And most likely is going to be another Desecration Demon. Nightvale Specter. Okay, so yeah. That's good. I'm not going to sacrifice anything. But a land wins me the game here? Alright, so we top deck out of it, which is awesome. Which we can now sacrifice this. And no matter how he blocks here, he dies. Alright, so, hey, we beat Mono Black. At least a game, right? That's all we can ask for. Again, I could bring in these Rangers Guiles, which I actually think are better than going like Rubblebelt Raider or even Deadbridge Goliath. Because I think if we are going to beat this matchup, it's going to be as quick as possible. And Reverent Hunter is just too awesome not to put in here too. So we need to get rid of one, which might be either a Brushstrider or a Sage. I'm thinking that, yeah. Or even since I'm going to go down to 20 lands. We're going to be a little bit risky here. And now I hope I don't kick myself for that. No. Okay. So this is a great hand. Can't complain about this hand whatsoever. And first turn Thoughtseize isn't too problematic. He'll probably take the Boon Satyr. I could see him actually even taking the experiment one. Just basically means that we both mold, and he had to start at 18 with this, because I'm not attached to any one of these cards in particular. Yeah, Boon Satyr, that probably was the right play. But then this does allow me to experiment one first turn. Hunter's going to be nice too. I do have to dodge a cure. Not too concerned with a pack rat. Not too concerned with a Doomblade. Am concerned with Thoughtseize again. Okay. So he might just continue the strategy of taking out the hunters. I'm not sure here. No, he takes out the Sage now. But I am going to be able to evolve it. And I'm going to be able to have double Militants here. And he's down to 14, so the Thoughtseize did hurt him quite a bit. I'm going to have a 5/5 Hunter out. So Nightveil Spectre, that is a problem. I don't know whether to swing in or not. That'd do 4 damage to him. Yeah, I think I do. I think I go for it. Are these Dryad Militants disposable or not is a question. No, I don't. Well, maybe they're not. So Experiment 1 is going to attack in. He's going to be down to an 11. We're going to have a huge Reverent Hunter. I can tap down a Desecration Demon. Again, Mr. Desecration Demon isn't the greatest card versus us. Yeah, I didn't think he was going to attack in here. So I'm thinking he has some sort of Doomblade. The double Thoughtseize hand I think is a bad choice for him to keep those in. Now this allows me to play in a huge Hunter. It's a 9/9. And at this point, I do believe I just start going for the fences. And he'll block a Dryad Militant here, but he's taking a lot of damage. If he's got a cure, he's in great shape. But he doesn't. He's down to a 3, and I still have a 9/9 he's got to deal with. Okay, I don't have a 9/9 he's got to deal with. But again, that he had to use that on a guy that wasn't doing damage there. So Gray Merchant can come out. If Gray Merchant comes out, I am in a bit of a pickle. Yeah. But I can attack in with both of these dudes. Get him down to something more manageable. He'll be able to block one. He blocks both, which, yeah, I'll definitely make that trade all day long. Kill off the Nightveil Spectre. He's down to a 5. I will play this land because you never know if I... One card in hand. We're both up to top deck mode. Not another gray. Nightveil Spectre again. Okay. Block, block, take 3. I believe it's just tack in here with the Experiment 1. Okay. Take out the Nightveil Spectre. Again, that's why you tack in. You might as well. And it's whoever doesn't draw lands is going to be the victor. And that won't quite do it. I'll use that Boon Satyr end of turn. Gotta think he's got a cure or an ultimate price. Ultimate price actually can only kill the Gyre Sage. He draws a land. Doesn't change much. Tempting to not Boon Satyr here and just use it as a combat trick. But I think I need to. Which will evolve the Sage. And this will evolve the Sage again. And we might actually pull this off versus one of the top tier decks. Because we're going to go for it here. Oh yeah, it does not evolve the Sage. Yeah, how Reverent Hunter works does not. So you got to think he's got an ultimate price again. Hero's downfall for the Boon Satyr. Okay, he's down to a 1, and he's pretty much drawing. Another Gray Merchant is what he needs, and he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it, so we're able to. Yeah, it's the. I don't know. His draws weren't terrible. His problem was keeping the Thoughtseizes in against a deck that has a bunch of cards I don't really care about. I mean, he had to use these for early cards that I was only expecting to get a few damage in anyway. So not too shabby. I mean, this is a $20 deck that we just went 2-2 with. I'll take that. I'll take that any day. So maybe you can make the argument that was a bit of a lucky game there. But again, the Thoughtseizes, in my opinion, were bad keep. Were a bad reason to leave them in your deck. But yeah, anyway, so let's go on to the wrap-up video. This is Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching.